back to another episode of Chemistry, everybody.
Alrighty.
I go by the name of Miles. Over here is
Marcel. Called off guard Williams, you know? Every time. You gotta be used to it by now.
Why were you creeping?
Because I knew as soon as my ass hit the seat, you was gonna do that. So just in case y'all don't know, he just starts these without saying anything to anybody. I mean, the cameras are rolling, but they just...
I mean, I just, you always be ready.
Always ready.
Yeah, just always.
I'm ready.
Ready to get to it. Okay, right, man. Today's topic on chemistry is time management. Okay, this is something that I am personally very freaking passionate about because this is another thing that stops people. This is another thing of why people fail, why people make a lot of bad decisions, because they don't know how to prioritize, focus, and manage their time.
This is a fact. I'm horrible at it. You looking at me like I got something to add to that in a positive way? Unfortunately, I do not.
No, well, that's fine, because this can be another Marcel.
Nope. 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 It ain't. And gave y'all my demons already.
What you mean, man? We so the chemistry audience wants to help. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just identifying the issue, and then from there you can make the changes. You know, first step is recognizing that it's a problem.
Absolutely.
You know,
and then the changes.
And then them changes.
Yes. So what's the changes?
I am waking up before noon now. You know what I mean?
What the?
Come on, baby. 1 point for me.
Some people have severe cases.
Some people have it worse than others.
You know, here's because I see this a lot of times. There's a billionaire page where they tell you the characteristics of actual billionaires, like what they do. Most people on that page
manage their time pretty well.
Well, I'm gonna go through like their schedule. They have to manage their time.
Because they make a lot of money.
No way that you're not. Normally they wake up between 5 and 7 o'clock a.m. You wake up, you focus on...
What time the millionaires wake up to? Because I might fit into that one a little better.
8 a.m.
Never mind. I ain't gonna make it. 100,000 now.
What time do niggas like me wake up? When you feel like it. When you roll out of when your eyes open.
Time is a social construct.
Because my eyes is open. They wake up between 5 and 7 a.m. They focus on their health. They do some type of workout. They eat, a healthy breakfast, and then they think about what they have to do for the day. They take care of their business first, whether if they have a family or not. You know what I'm saying? That's also, morning family time that they, take the kids to school or spend time with the kids or whatnot. And then from that time, from around 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., you take care of your most important business. You take care of all of the things that you said you were going to do today. Like yesterday, if you said, hey, I got to take care of something tomorrow, this is the time where you take care of that. You do all of your meetings. You focus on, the big decisions that you have to make. You focus on the future. You do all of that from that time. You know what I'm saying? You take a break because breaks are truly freaking important. I had to learn that. About an hour, 30-minute break, depending, whoever the person is. And for from 2 to 5 or 6, once again, depending on the person in the business, that's when they focus on the future. That's when they start setting up things for next week, for tomorrow, for when I said that 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. time, that's the time that they're setting up things for that time. And then the rest of that, once again, depending on the person, they're focused once again back on their health. They maybe do another workout. They, they're eating a healthy meal, family time. But all of this is time mother freaking management. And that's one thing that I feel like I do have a personal gift for, because I do a lot of shit. People always wonder, how the fuck, how is it even possible to do such things? And for me, I feel like I could do even more than I'm doing now. Like, I'm genuinely fucking exhausted right now, but it's like, sometimes I feel like I have lazy moments, but you couldn't tell because of how much shit that I actually do. And it makes me wonder to other people, like, I do think about this with you a lot of times, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what
That's a great question.
is actually, like, I look at my life and I look at the things that I have to get done, like I sleep, I take rest, I take my breaks. I'm not just literally, I used to just be working 24/7, but I'm wondering, what do other people prioritize? Like, what the fuck is it that you're doing in your life?
Other people, I'm not sure what people are doing with their lives. Most of them are working. Most of them are probably,
Well, outside of that, because okay, we all always work. Okay, all of us work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing outside of work?
I don't think a lot of people do much outside of work, to be honest with you. A lot of people, because time management really is one of those things that a lot of people just are not very good at. I think time management is up there with public speaking, because public speaking is like the number one most thing people are afraid of doing. But time management, I think it's up there. A lot of people just don't have that ability.
Which is, I guess, it's just weird to me, because you always hear people say they want to do such and such, they want this out of life, and it's, in my mind, okay, yeah, you got to work for that. You got to actually put in the footwork, actually grind, actually, do the action. And people always tell me, well, I never have time. And it's, well, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing to where you don't think you have enough time to do it?
I agree with you. Like, all jokes aside, lately I've been a little off my game, just some other stuff going on. I've been a little off, but I actually value it, and I do understand the importance, because when I did have a job, a 9 to 5, my mindset first and foremost was, I'm giving these people 8 hours out of my day. Because I literally would break down my day. Like, I have 24 hours in a day, right? I go to work for 8. It takes me about 30 minutes to get there. It takes me about 30 minutes to get home. That's really 9 hours out of a day gone. I try to sleep 6 to 8 hours. Not really. 6 to 7 hours or so. I'm down to like a third of my day left. So it's like, you would have to prioritize intentionally. Like, hey, I have to be up by this time. I set, like, I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to this, or however much time, whatever. And it gets more muddy and complicated if you got like a spouse, you got kids, stuff like that. The more stuff you got going on, so you got multiple projects or something. It's just one of those things where it's kind of, it gets difficult,
It does. And it's like, I understand that, but it's like, I always, whenever I hear people give me excuses of, man, well, this, it's like, I can always give an example of, well, this is an example of a motherfucker who is in that same situation as you, and they did it. Like, a big thing is people with kids, people with families, and people like single moms and single dads. And it's like, oh, well, I got this now. And it's like, there's so many stories of people overcoming that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they were as well, but it's a matter of, somebody who we've had on Ashanti, like, she's a single mom, and I'll tell her all the time, I respect her so much with her hustle, because she does so many, y'all heard, she does so many freaking projects, but she has a whole kid, and a lot of people would use that as an excuse. It's not like I don't want to put business out there or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? You don't always have to have a bunch of help. You just have to have the right help in the right places, and you can still do your things. I want to tell y'all, like, literally, so I had a corporate job from 2015 to 2017. During this time, I did an abundance of SVS fucking work. Honestly, the most work I've done in ATL was during this time. Like, I
agree. Like, I can see that. Yeah,
absolute shitload. But let me tell y'all, like, this was literally my fucking schedule. So I would wake up. It's a minute ago, so let me try to fucking remember. I would wake up. I want to say, okay, here we go. I would wake up 7:30. All right, from 7:30 to 8. I'm doing like my morning shit or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, I got to do to fully get up to go to work. It takes me an hour to get to that job. So from 8 to 9, I'm in the fucking car. From 9 to 6 o'clock, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'm at fucking work. From 6 to 7, that's my fucking commute home. So from 7 to 11 o'clock, those 4 hours, that's how much time I had to do whatever SVS work that I needed. And and I knew that. I planned that out. I understood, you know what I'm saying, my life and my schedule and stuff, because if I didn't go to sleep by 12, I would be fucked. Like I would be so fucked in the morning. Like I might miss my alarm, but I'm just too tired or whatever. So I intentionally from 7 p.m. to 11, and I still had to eat. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, I eat during. Sometimes I eat on the way home, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just made that time for those 4 hours to get a bunch of SVS stuff done. I did 2 whole freaking feature films while I had this job. I did 2 comedy series. I did a bunch of short films. You know what I'm saying? I did a bunch of work while I had this job, but it's based on time management and prioritizing and being able to focus. And I just feel like those 3 things in this world, I don't even want to say this, in this industry, like if you lack at those 3 things, then you probably won't be happy, and you probably come across a lot of struggles in this life.
Yeah, more than likely. You know, one thing I tell a lot of people, including myself, like you have to be careful of the job that you get sometimes, because I realize just personally with me, and I notice in other people, because I've been through it and I see the complacency in people, is that their job kind of molds you to who you become. You slowly become who your job is making you. So it's like when you have a job you don't like or you hate it, and you're like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Screw this job. They just lucky I'm showing up. You slowly becoming your personal life that way. You know what I mean? Like it can count. Like if you're showing up late to work, you show up late to things in your personal life. You know what I mean? Like, because at one point I could differentiate that. Like I don't like being late to stuff. However, I worked a job for a while where I was late every day. I literally walked through the door. Y'all lucky I'm here. What's up? Like I clocked in. You happy? All right, whatever. If you ain't happy, whatever. What you gonna do? Fire me? You not. So all right, whatever. I'm finna sit down. I'll get started when I get started. But slowly though, over years you work these jobs, you complacent, you making the money you want to make, or not the money you want to make, but you making enough money to survive or whatever, and you slowly become someone that just slowly falls into like entropy, really. You know what I mean? Like you stop paying attention to time, you stop caring, you stop putting your all into the things that you do. That's why it's like, anyway, time management's important.
No, yeah. I mean, what you just said is a cycle. I feel a lot of people fall into that cycle.
And like most things, they happen slowly. It's not like an overnight thing. It's like a job you work for years and you haven't realized before you know it. It took for me to leave that job to even realize that, like, man, I am now late to everything I do. I am now
everything.
Not everything. But and it's like, man, I used to like structure my stuff. I believe in working hard. I believe in putting everything you got into everything you do until, I slowly, like I say, it just happens slowly over time. And I'm realizing like, man, I am not the same person anymore. So sometimes you just got to be careful of the job and even the people you keep around you.
Absolutely. Everything he just fucking said, like it's... A lot of people get caught up in that cycle of the job because once again, it's safe. You know what I'm saying? It's a very safe place to be. You know what I'm saying? You literally have somebody else doing the thinking for you as far as your schedule. I mean, we talked about this before. Being an entrepreneur, there is no safety of it. You're taking all the risks. You're the one making the schedule, and a lot of people fail at the entrepreneurial spirit because they don't know how to do such a thing. And one of the biggest things is the time management part, which, I guess just at the end of the day, it sucks. The whole message for me is just trying to tell people to prioritize and to focus and to learn what matters in what situations. Like, even I can literally use today right now. It is currently 10:48 p.m. We normally end around 9 p.m. Things have, people were late, today, and it pushed a lot of this stuff back. This is something we could have just scrapped it. We could have been like, hey, look, we tired or whatever, we would just scrap it. But scrapping it, we would have lost the episode. We lose the episode, we lose a day of content of where we could have put out. So we, being able to prioritize, okay, we understand why we need to stay up, we need to make this episode, so we do have that day of content instead of, once again, I'm sure a lot of people just would have looked at the time like, man, come on, man, look, I'm tired, let's get up out of here. It's being able to understand why. Like, this is what I mean by like certain situations with the time management. Like, you understand why we had to stay and do this episode. I gave ask Shy, like, did she have to work in the morning because we are staying a little bit over, and it's like, damn, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can stay though, because we kind of still need to get this done. But if she was like, hey, I have to leave, it's like I understand it. At the same time, so that's just an example of being able to prioritize, focus in, manage your time, thinking of the bigger situation. A lot of people once again are just thinking about their self instead of the situation. Like, we're literally the bosses of this. We could have just said, hey, all right, yeah, fuck this, let's get the fuck up out of here. Like, nobody's forcing us to freaking do this. But in a job, you're forced. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? That person, that manager or supervisor, whoever is forcing you to do such a thing is the one who understands the time management, and you as an employee, you're just mad, but you're still doing it. But it's little do you know that's why you're doing it before the purpose of the entire company.
Yeah, I think it's something you should be, I don't know if you do or don't, but maybe it's something you should, or be thankful you have that ability. Because it's a rare ability, you know what I mean? Like, to even be able to recognize it, see it, let alone have it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and it's no cockiness, but I'm learning this. I've learned so much just from my friends. Like, even since SVS started, like when I was in high school. When I was in high school, people used to call me like creative and shit. And I've never been called creative. I was like, this is weird. Like, why are y'all calling me creative? Because everybody can do this. What the fuck you mean? Everybody can make a video and go in and do it. Yeah, and I didn't understand that. Like, I didn't look at it special. I didn't look at it unique. I didn't look at it like I was different or anything. I was just like, what do you mean? You can pick up a camera, you can go do it. Until I saw other people pick up a camera.
I feel you. I was in the same boat. I hear you.
And do it. I'm like, oh wow, wait, this is a talent, or it is a skill that I've developed and stuff. And then throughout SVS years, like, once again, seeing the ability to have time management, seeing the ability to focus, seeing the ability. So many people who want to write. So many people come to me about writing and stuff, and I was like, man, well, how do you do this? And I'm just like, bro, you sit down and you write the shit. That's literally all I can fucking tell you. But so many people can't do that. So many people have an issue with just sitting the fuck down, focusing, and then typing out what's in your mind. Like, I didn't know that was
very
impossible for people.
Yeah, it's easier for some than others, man.
Right. And I didn't, my whole journey with this industry, like, it's not like I didn't grow up wanting to be in this industry. So just when I got in it, I'm just thinking anybody can do anything. You know what I'm saying? If you put your mind to it, because that's the type of person that I am. So just learning that these certain aspects or gifts or perceptions that I'm able to have, like, within this industry it's very humbling, because it's like, damn, okay, I see so many people struggle. That's the only reason this is even a fucking topic, because I see so many people struggle about this. So it's like, damn, man, I just want to help. It's like, I don't know how to help, but I learned really, like, maybe a year or two ago that there's nothing I can fucking do.
There's really nothing you can do. It's like most things with your mind. Like, you can't really, like, when people be depressed, when people bad with their time management, when people choose bad relationships, whatever, a lot of it is an internal fight that you just gotta fight yourself. Like, I've dealt with plenty of people with depression. It's like, you can't really, I mean, you want to help, but honestly, it's the person's personal fight and journey they have to kind of figure out. Like, you can dance around them, play happy songs and stuff, but
it's something they have to, like, come on. There's so many situations of people being depressed and the different types of ways that is handled. Some people get out of depression. Some people stay in depression for years. Some people, you know what I'm saying? They do so many different types of things. So it's like, I had to learn that it's nothing that I can say or literally do. It's literally all up to that person. So it's just, hopefully I can help people recognize it. I can help people recognize, hey, this may be the issue, and then hopefully they can take the steps, like, after that, because it saddens me, man. It's like, yo, I deal with so many talented people. I deal with so many people who I actually give a fuck about, and it's always really the same things that people are in their mind about, and that they don't, take charge of.
Yeah. Like I say, it is a problem I deal with, but it's not something I blame anybody for. Because, like I say, I even come from my past. I understand it. I used to break my days down and stuff, so I understand it. just been, like I say, everybody's going through things and stuff. You fall off, but like I said, there's really nothing you really can do for people. Like, just point it out to them. I think a real friend would point it out, and a real friend would accept that pointing out and not take it as an attack. Because, a lot of people take things as an attack. If you ain't like super friendly, gung-ho, thumbs up all the time with them, they think that's a real friend. But a real friend, I feel like, will point it out. You pointed it out to me, like, hey, I got to step my SHIT up. And it's a journey, you know what I mean? Because you're right, because I have the same mindset. You can do whatever you want to do. And if it's important to you, you won't make all these excuses. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like, it's very simple. You'd have been on time. If somebody offered you $1 million in a briefcase, show up here at this date at this time, it could be 10 years from now. You're not going to forget. You're going to be there. You're going to be there early.
Forget that date.
You're going to be camping out today for a 10 years wait. You know what I mean? So people make excuses for stuff that's not important to them.
Stop making excuses.
Yeah, please. Stop.
Handle your business.
Yeah, man. The first step is recognizing it. You have to and taking responsibility. That's the first thing. Taking responsibility for it. Stop blaming people for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if you always late, you're always late. I'll be mad when they cracking late jokes on your ass because you always late. Like, hey, you the late man now. You know what I mean?
You want to change it? Stop being late.
You want to change it? Stop being late. If you, whatever you want, I'll make up any scenario, but whatever you want to change, just then change it. You know what I mean? Change it. Because you genuinely do, it's the same 24 hours. Like, I was talking to somebody close. It's the same 24 hours in a day you have as the next person. That doesn't mean that we all going to be doing the same thing in a day. I understand you have children or whatever, work, all these things. However, you got the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
You choose to do what you want to do with it. If you chose to sit on the couch and play video games, don't blame the world for you not having a job or being able to do whatever it is you want to do. Segue. Man, I think it really stems from people just not having goals, really. A lot of people just don't have, like, goals.
Which
is
another weird thing. Like, that's so true.
It's weird, but I think people...
weird from, like, something that I had to understand. That I didn't know...
People just be out here
didn't
living.
Like you don't have something like you're working towards. Like, you don't have.
I don't get it either. Why are you alive? Like, why are you here?
You're literally just breathing. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's so many people like that. Like,
it is. I just
didn't. Something I had to understand. I'm like, everybody's working towards something. But when I started, when I got in college and I was just having conversations with people, just lost. I'm like, many people are so lost, and I'm like, damn, bro. Like, what? And that's me at 18. 12 years later,
people are more lost now.
Yo, I'm like,
people are realizing they ain't that special. You know what I mean? Or they're not as good as they thought they were.
Yo, bro, well, what's your plan? I always ask people, well, what's the plan? Because if you ask me what the fuck the plan is, I got you. This is the plan. This is the goal. This is what we're trying to do. This is how we're going to get there. You know what I'm saying? We may be, swiggle the wrong way, but this is the plan. I ask other people what the plan is, and it's, man, it's even, I'm not going to call nobody out, but even people that we've had on this podcast who I've asked that question to, and it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to do this, and yeah, boom, there it is. It's like...
Yeah,
right?
I feel you.
It's not.
People get lost in the journey. Like, it's like, if you look around you, everybody watching here next to me, next to you, everybody want to be a millionaire, right? But who's doing what it takes to
actually be
one? You know what I mean? So I think people get lost when you realize life is not what you thought it was going to be sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, when you realize that you have to manage your time. You know what I mean? You have to manage your time, not your job. You have to manage it. That's when people start to kind of lean off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Manage your time, all this stuff, you know?
It sucks that you learn late, or if you ever learn it, because by that time, I mean, it's a negative way of looking at it, but it's just so much time lost. So
it is a lot of time lost, but I think that's honestly... that's life, though. You know what I mean? That's life. Like, life, there are no guarantees. You could be whatever. You know what I mean? And
hey, man, you're 35 years old.
I am 35. All right. Well, where's this coming from?
I don't know. I just thought about it.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like you're my older friend now.
All right. Well, technically, yeah, but the way you said it.
I can see that. But Man, like
calling
people
me
have
uncle
asked me,
shit.
and I'm like, I have no idea. Like,
I'm up somewhere in there.
I think I've thought you were 33 this whole time. Like we've known each other. Like you've never went up. You've always just been 30.
Yeah, I actually age as well. I'm human. Yep, 33. Ooh,
Hey man, how do you feel?
I feel good. You know, like
Literally 35 is a mark for me. So
all right.
I'm curious
Well,
on how do you
every
feel
year's
at
a
my mark?
You know what I mean? I feel good. You know, I feel, to be straight up. Oh, all right. All jokes aside, this is the way I feel about my life personally, in what I've done, what I've accomplished. I feel okay. You know, I feel as if I have more than my peers. Not more. You know what I mean? Not that life is based on that, but I'm just saying from what I perceive anyway. It seems like I'm not doing too bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not wondering where my next meal gonna come from. I'm doing mostly what I enjoy doing. I would like to do it more to a higher capacity, but honestly, the only problem I have or regret is just being able to shake this, what I'm going through right now. If I can just shake it a little faster, you know what I mean? And like we talked about, just wasted time. Because I feel like I did great, man. I got a house, married, I got my wife. Now we in her house. I'm getting money off this rental property. You know, I got my van outside. My car broke. But anyway, I got my van outside for production. How many people, got a production van?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I got an office studio thing upstairs.
Absolutely.
With every, whatever I need, I got it. I'm watching because I'm starting my YouTube channel and I'm watching these videos and like, I'm skipping past half of them because half of them are just teaching people how to pick up a camera. And it's like, what camera I want to pick up, basically. I got like 4 of them things sitting there. Like, which one?
Okay.
The point being, it's not a bragging session. It's just, I feel like I'm doing okay. It's just like something you said. It's like, I know, though, personally, that I'm capable of more. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's nice. Like, if you made $1 million, but know you can make $1 billion, you'd be like, man, I want that $1 billion. Like, it's because I have friends and peers, and they come over my house when stuff going on. It's like, hey man, we watching whatever, this show or event or whatever. We can come over your place because it ain't calling nobody out. No, my friends, all of my homies. But it's like they would.
You can't come
I
over
was
mine.
not. I was thinking of.
No, I
somebody,
know you aren't,
but
I'm just saying you could use me.
I have friends, they may not have a place of their own, so they come over here. So it's in my circle, I am the guy that's doing good, you know what I mean, as they call it. But for me, I see it like I could do more. Like, I have not worked not work is whatever, but I've literally not had a consistent income since it's almost 2 years now. I've literally just been living on the hard work that I put in before I quit that job. So I just been living off the hard work that I put in. So I understand hard work. It's just I feel good, but I'm ready to get back on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To answer your question, I truly am ready to get back on. I'm tired of. We ain't gonna turn this into another therapy session over here. Cause I see you waiting. You got that look on in your eye. You just waiting for me to slip up and say some crazy mess.
It's gonna be one time we gonna get a tear.
But the content, you didn't get no tears out of me.
Nigga. Hey, you crying like that nigga on that podcast, man.
I have went through some things that have been very tough for me, and I thought I'd bounce back faster from it. Just personal stuff with my family and stuff. But honestly, I'm taking a hit. But like all things, it just takes a little time, I think. And I feel as if I am starting to do better. I've been waking up. I'm working out in the morning. I'm finding some income, some kind of way, and I'm just in this mindset because just realizing things gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, man. It's definitely.
How you feel though? Shit, you gonna be 30 this year.
Yeah,
That's wild.
it is,
That's wild,
nigga.
That was a landmark for me. How you feel?
It's definitely it's a mark for me. That's why 35 is a mark for me, and 30 is a
30
mark
and 40
for me.
I feel you.
Because it's going to be 13 years of SVS this year, and that's you know what I'm saying. That's a long time to be doing anything.
That's
an extremely it's a long fucking time. And I mean, just as always, I think I'm just in another shift of my mindset as far as like what I'm doing with SVS and
What's
how
that shift?
I mean, money, to be honest. The shift is money. And
You sure you don't want to be just recognized as like the greatest to ever do it? You laughing, but just asking a question.
I do want to be recognized as the greatest, but I also understand that if I want this to be my life, I need to make some money. It doesn't.
Miles hypocrite Triplett over here. Wow, money's important. What the heck? Where's this coming from?
Doesn't have to be 400 million, but some type of money to be able to pay a bill would be nice.
Something. Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
That's more so where I think I've made, I don't want to say enough, but a lot of sacrifices throughout my life just to make art, like just to actually make something and make sure it's great, make sure it's good, and then pretty much just hope for the best. Like, okay, I made something, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, give me some notoriety, another job, I can make another film, give me some money, like whatever. Now I'm being more intentional, which I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it makes me feel sad or like disappointed in myself because I know what I'm doing. Like if I make a film that I'm only intentionally making to make money, and then people love it and it does good, it's like, and people ask me about, I'm sorry, this looks so funny. She was over there bouncing.
No.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
It makes me look at myself like, man, did I sell out? You know what I'm saying? Like, did I just make something to make money? I'm not in the same situation as this nigga. Like, holy crap, nigga, he gets.
But you're starting to see it though, right?
No, because not to put my business out here, nigga. I have no car. I have no place of my own.
All right, here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying I'm not in the same situation as him. So for me, it's getting money to survive. It's just literally trying to do what I love to do, but still surviving off of that. I've never been able to survive off of my art. So I'm trying to be intentional about making art that I can survive off of. That's the more so the shift that I'm going towards with SVS.
I think it's a good shift.
I know you would think it was.
You're damn right. I like eating. So that's a good shift, man.
And it's honestly, I think it was more of a young mindset that I had, because most of the older people that I worked with or was around was always focused on the money and always, but for me, it was always like, I just don't like, I want to make money off my art, but I don't want to just do it for the money. You know what I'm saying? I want to still make something great. You know what I'm saying? So I was always, which I understood that, you know, trying to make money off of things, but it's like how people went about it. I just didn't fucking agree with. Like, I didn't agree with, I don't know. I just didn't agree with some of the ways that I was being told to make art specifically just for the money. Like, I feel like you should be able to make a great piece of art and still be able to go in and, you know, sell it and market it. But at that time, I didn't understand the market. I didn't understand demographic. I didn't understand audience. And when it wasn't until social last year, that's when I started really understanding markets and marketing and you know, demographics and audiences and ages and genders and races, like, and all of these different sub freaking demographics that are out here. That's when I really started understanding that. And when I started understanding that, I started to see money come in. When I started to see the money come in, I said, okay, now I know how to be able to make art that I can still be happy and proud of and get some type of financial gain off of it. So that's the shift I'm in, still trying to be able to make great work that I'm happy and proud of, and it hopefully makes some money. And I think that's kind of what I did with the Lost Sex Tape that we recently just made. I really am. I am proud of that project. Like, I understand what it was born out of and like how we started to. I'm boring you, or
No,
I know
it's
late,
11 o'clock.
Nigga. Yeah, I know. I know. It's just I'm looking out. Niggas gonna look out on the camera like that. This nigga yawning and shit. He ready to go.
Not because of that at all.
But I really am actually proud of the Lost Sex Tape. Like, it's definitely a different. The intention of it was different, but it's still at its roots very much an SVS production. So it's like I really don't have have no issue with it, but I also think it's something that we can get some type of financial gain off of, because I was very intentional with how it was made in the market that it was going to be placed in.
I think that's a good shift, man. I think very few people can find that balance. And I think most people do start that way. It's just, I think as you get sucked into that monster of the world and just money and your business, you kind of end up having to, as they call it, selling out. You know what I mean? Like, because at some point you're not using your own. Like right now, most of these productions is your money. You know what I mean? Like, you front the stuff, you do everything. But once you start taking in other people's money, the bigger you get, Warner Brothers call or whoever calls, Sony Pictures, whoever, now you're using their money, and you got to play the way they want you to play.
But that's
you know what I mean?
And that's what I don't plan on getting to. Like, I don't plan on getting to that level of, okay, I have to abide by these rules. Like, well, of course I'm abide by some type of rules, but you know, if the creative control, if I'm definitely the person, if you want me to come in, produce or direct or whatever it is, I definitely need to have some type of creative control over what's happening, because I can't, like, once again, I'm doing this to be financially free, not be a multimillionaire, be a billionaire, just, you know, have all of this freaking money. I just want to be able to pay my bills off of my art. It doesn't have to be millions of dollars. So I'm not still in it for Warner Bros. Telling me, all right, we want you to make this movie, but you need to have 3 niggas in a dress type shit. It's like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm still okay with making lower films, but as long as I'm able to still eat off of those films.
So is there a number in your head? Like, if I'm making X amount, I'm happy, or
if I can make $100,000 a year, I'm good.
I feel. I think
like $100,000 is a lot of fucking money.
It depends on who you ask, but yeah,
for a nigga like me, $100,000, like y'all got it.
I feel like $100,000 a lot of money, but you know,
people don't make $100,000.
Oh, I know. Yeah, some people, you know, they act like it ain't a lot of money, but they probably spend it all, so they don't.
Because they ain't got fucking money management either. We got to talk about that fucking too. But yeah, if I can make $100K a year off of my movies,
I don't know what you doing living life wrong if you can't be happy with $100,000.
Yeah, that's just greedy, and yeah, that's just I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will look at me crazy, like, well, look at the industry. You know what I'm saying? The potential to grow and all that crap, which all that's cool. But once again, if I could have $80,000 to $100,000 a year, like, I can be a husband, I can be a father with that. I can make things happen in my fucking life.
I feel you.
Like, I'm good.
I think that's commendable. I think I was asking you, and I was kind of seeing if you even had a number in your head. A lot of people don't have numbers. They just
no, I don't have one.
Do fairy tales. Like, when I make it, like, what is making it to you? Like, how much money do you?
Well, yeah. In essence, $100,000 is making it to me. $100,000.
Most people don't, though.
Is my, like, have a number?
Have a number. It's just a fairy tale. You know, when I make it.
I've thought about it. Like, it's definitely $100,000. Will I'm good. Like, I could be very content in my life with making consistent $100,000.
I feel you, but I still do think, though, I don't know, but it's a possibility once you hit that number, because it's like anything in growth. It's like it's a momentum. Like, yeah, I made 100. Hang, I could have. That was easy.
That's also greediness.
I could make $1 million.
I don't have that in my. I don't have greediness.
You don't know that money changes people. Because you're gonna be seeing the guy next to you made $200,000, and his movie is gonna be worse than yours. You're gonna be like, hold on, now, I could have did that. So you're gonna be cool with your 100.
Also, how I look at it: if I'm making $100,000 a year off of my art, I know I can make more. Like, I know I can, but will I be satisfied with $100,000?
No, you won't. I would bet that you, and I'm not even a betting man, but I put a little money on that you would not be.
I guess we'll find out when I get that 100,000.
You show Skippy, yeah.
All right, that was chemistry.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's chemistry. That was a delusional young man right there.
Man, it's not all about money, man.
It's not, but it is though. That's stuff poor people say.
No, you're right.
Yeah, only poor people be like, money's
shut your ass up. Oh my goodness, man! Look, take away from this: time management. Manage your time
that was the point.
Better.
Yeah.
To succeed in life, please. Like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
great.
A big part.
Everybody,
that's a huge part. Y'all get out there and manage that time. You know about, for a little takeaway, for those of you who have stayed to the end of the video, you know what has helped me a lot though is like the day before I would literally just block out, it ain't even like blocking out time, but just take a second to sit down and set some goals like for the next day, just or week or whatever the case may be. So like before you fall, just what I do before I even go to sleep, I pick up my phone, I have like a little notes app, and I'm like set little check marks. I'm like, yo, I'm doing this tomorrow, this, shoot this video, blah, 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 wake up at this time. I mean, you know, just set some little goals, you know, because it's gotten to the point for me personally. Like the other day I had all these plans to do something, or in my mind anyway, but I didn't write them down and I didn't like actually put them, you know, my mind to something physical. And I ended up wasting the day. And I was like, I didn't have any goals today. I mean, I had like fluff goals, like I'm going to do something today, but it wasn't like very specific. And I think that for someone that's completely like where I'm at right now, if you are somewhere similar in a stage to me, to where you have no time management or is very weak at this time, like just setting some goals and making them specific. Don't set vague goals, because you know it never really helps to set anything vague. But if you can be specific, like, hey, I like personally, hey, I'm going to shoot this YouTube video tomorrow on this topic, blah, 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 blah. That way, you know, it just kind of helps set some sort of structure, like, and it just kind of helps build a little bit of momentum. It's like, all right, I did this. You feel good about yourself. Then over time, you can build it up. Set more goals. Set 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in a day. It's a lot you can do in a day if you sit down to actually do it, though.
To be able to prioritize it and then focus on actually doing it. I do something similar. I make not a daily one, but just like a to-do list.
Yeah, like
and
a to-do list.
I always just look at that to-do list every day and see, okay, what can I take off of this?
Right,
this list.
Yeah.
So hey, take that fucking advice, man. This is Cameron. I'm so fucking tired, y'all. Like I almost didn't make it through. I am Miles. This over there is
Marcel Williams, baby.
Yes, sir. And we will see y'all next time in the motherfucking lab, baby. Whew, Lord.